As I got out of quarantine recently, I just began to realize how absolutely massive this university is. It is no joke at all. If I map out every single route I take on a daily basis, whether it is to buy food in Eula Street or to the engineering departments over there, it is still just a small portion of how big this university is. And you might be asking yourself, why am I saying all of this? Well, it's to illustrate just how big this university is. And I'm not talking about size here. I'm talking about the cultural and historical significance this place has over Tainan. In fact, this place is so important that it still has buildings spanning from the Qing dynasty all the way to the US 8 period, each with their own unique characteristics that I'm just gonna list over here because it's way too many to list. And in fact, one of these buildings right here, this building specifically, is built during the US 8 period. This building used to be called the K Building, which was built in 1951 in collaboration with Purdue University as the first ever modern library. And it has been standing strong for 60 years until last year, NCKU decided to change it to NCKU Future Atelier in order to adapt to these technological times. Now, on to the topic of US 8 periods. If we just turn to the left, all the way to the intersection, and you'll be able to see one of these monuments in its full glory. This is the University Gate, which was built in 1951 during the US 8 period. Now, if you pay very close attention to the words there, you'll be able to make out the words 穷理之治, which means seek for truth, toil for good. Now, you might be asking yourself, why are both of these buildings called the US 8 periods when they are both built in different architectural styles? And the answer to that is actually quite simple. It is because unlike the colonial period, they are free to build whatever they want and not be restricted by the rules of the colonizers. Hence, why this gate has more spiritual and cultural aspects of Taiwanese culture, including symbols of clouds and the stone base, which is a direct reference to the Buddhist saying Shi Mi Zuo, which means sacred and noble plinth. In a way, you could say that this is a direct sign of respect towards Taiwanese culture. Now, onto the topic of colonial periods, there is one building that has a very funny history. Hello there. You might be asking, why am I wearing a different set of clothes? And it's supposed to be next day, but the next week. Midterms are hard, okay? I think magic fixes this, okay? Anyways, behind me is Gejetang, which was built back in 1930 during the Japanese colonial period, which is, fun fact, when NCKU was still called the Tainan Technical College. Now, you can tell that it was built by the Japanese because it was built using red bricks, there's archways, and there's a European style to it, which is reflecting of the militaristic and pragmatic values of the Japanese Empire. And this place is used for assemblies, lectures, speeches, and freshman oath-taking. Now, you might be asking yourself, that sounds nice and all, but what does it have to do with funny history? Well, it's actually not more funny, but more of dark. You see, this place, we know it's Gejetang, but it's colloquially known as the slaughterhouse because every week, hundreds of students suffer being slain by calculus, physics, and chemistry exams. Which is ironic given that 90 years of progress since then, and we still hate those subjects. Well, that was depressing. So, on a more positive note, let's get to somewhere more peaceful, shall we? Welcome to the Banyan Garden, possibly the prettiest place of the whole campus and our final destination. It is absolutely green and absolutely pretty with big trees, and this massive tree, which is the star of this show. You might be asking yourself, what's so important about this tree? Well, this tree was planted by Crown Prince Hirohito in 1923, and this served as the beginning of our campus. Funnily enough, trees are known as the symbol of the beginning of all life. One could say that this tree is the beginning of this campus, the past, present, and future, and the beginning of our new lives. Thank you for watching. I hope all of you have a nice day.